Hello, ladies. Welcome to our Community Connect call. This week, we are joined by someone who was with Lady BFF for quite some time, but is now out on her own. And Sue, when Magda sent me your transformation to put side by side and be like, hey, can you edit this for me? I was like, damn, look at her abs. So I'm going to give the people that are live here a sneak peek of what that is. Where's my Google Chrome? Ta-da! So, a 22
Um,
pound body recomposition, eating over 21 calories a day, 5 days of resistance training, and you're doing this on your own. I know not a lot about your story, so I'm going to let you and Magda take it away, and I'll pop in if I have any questions. But welcome and thank you for doing this.
oh my gosh, thanks for having me. And it's an honor. And I have to say I'm fangirling a little because I watched you for so many weeks. Like just every time I was at the gym, I'm like, okay, how does this go again? And I'd pull up the videos. They were super, super helpful. And yeah, like it's just been a journey. Like I just when people say like, are you doing something different? I just always say like I'm on a journey and I'm just so dialed in right now. And I've said to Magna so many times, like I think about myself as an older person and growing old is just a privilege and the amount of people that we've lost like prematurely. I just don't want to be one of those people and I want to just be really strong as I get older and I want to be able to work out. I work out with my kids now, but I want to work out with their kids. And so just it's a privilege to grow old and I'm just like I just want to be a strong lady as I continue on. So yeah, so I met Magda at I think it was the women's show, wasn't it? Like the International Women's Show, and we were just chatting, and I bought a T-shirt, and I was like, oh yeah, like it just kind of stuck with me, and like for I think that was a few years ago, and I just kept watching you online, and I loved your content that you put out, and I saw you transform your body, like you're just such a machine and such an inspiration. I was like, oh man, I'll have what you're having. And then I just thought, as time was going on, and I'm in perimenopause now, and I thought I was doing all the right things, but just as time went on, I was gaining weight. I'm like, how is this even possible? I'm working out all the time, and I'm like, literally, I'm moving all the time. Like it's common for me to get like 15,000 steps, and I have a job where I'm constantly like moving. And then I was talking to my husband about it and I feel like I said I just feel like I need to do something drastic because what I'm doing isn't working and I think like hormones definitely plays into it, but I just wanted to I just don't want to, continue to expand around my middle section because and then there's visceral fat you have to worry about too. Like it's definitely not just aesthetics. It's like for good health. I want to make sure that I'm here when I'm an older person. And so I reached out to Magda and I was like, I don't know if you remember me. And she did. And I wanted to know just how we could work together. So we did. And from the get-go, like I had a birthday party to go to. And I think I had reached out on a Saturday, but Magda is just like this little powerhouse. Like, he's like up in the morning and has like this big agenda. I'm like, how do you do this? And so I had reached out to you and like later on that day, you're like, okay, here's your menu plan. We'll start tomorrow. And I was like, oh crap. Because I was supposed to go out to a birthday party that night. And I did, I went, but I was like, okay, no, I'm dialing it in right now. Like this is it. And my girlfriend
Very
had
cool.
ordered, what's that?
I was just like, yeah, you're good to go now. Like you can start now. Like it's
That was
okay.
it. And my husband's like, why don't you start tomorrow? I'm like, well, because
You
like if
wanted
I'm
something
like I'm
drastic too, so I gave you drastic.
I'm showing up. And so I remember going to we were at this bar and they ordered shots and they're like, "Oh, do you want one?" And I was like, "No." And I go, "Actually, I do kind of want one." And so I had it in my hand and then I stuck it like I stuck my tongue in it and I was like, "No, I don't want it." And then that was it. That was March 8th and like I haven't touched alcohol since. And it's not
Amazing.
to say I'm never going to have it again, but like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I'm just not interested. I'm just like, I'm like, if it doesn't, I saw this and I don't know who posted it, but I saw it somewhere online. If it doesn't glow, if it doesn't make me grow, glow, or go, then it's a fuck no. Like, I'm not going to do it.
I
And
love
that's
that.
right? But like I'm not gonna like it's just too like it doesn't align with what I want to do and where I want to be. So just
Yeah.
in a much better place now. Thank you to Magda and all of you. Like this community is pretty incredible.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction and giving us a little bit more background as to like what you went through and like the process of actually like starting working with us. But I want to know like what certain challenges or frustrations were you specifically facing with in your life or in your fitness journey before you started with us? Like what wasn't working for you? Like was your energy low, your motivation? And was there something specific that really was like, I need to change, you know?
Well, I think that like I'm 54, and so I grew up in like the skinny culture where like I always felt like I wasn't small enough, and I'm 5'10", so I'm like this big boned person, and so I always felt like I was like too big, and now it's like I'm just strong over skinny, like I'll never be that person again. But I felt like every diet out there, I've done it. Like I did the cabbage soup diet, and then like, oh, we're gonna try keto, like all the stuff, like just ridiculousness, like the stuff that I did to my body. Like my metabolism was completely out of whack. But I was always physical. I always had a gym membership. I think the year I turned 18, I got a gym membership. So I was always in the gym. I was always working out. But I used to be a smoker and I would drink and I've never been as dialed in as I am now, which I'm really thankful for. And hopefully it just like this is just a part of who I am now. Like I want to keep this, I obviously want to keep this up. But I did everything. Like I lifted weights, I did hot yoga, I did all different breeds of yoga. Like after our like we have two kids, and after each kid was born, my husband and I just kind of like did a date thing. So we did ballroom dancing, and then we did Ashtanga yoga, and then we got into hot yoga because he had plantar fasciitis and he used to be a big runner and he couldn't run for a bit. So we're like, okay, hot yoga. And then I would just get like really addicted to it. Like, oh crap, now something else I have to pay for, right? Like now it's another membership. But it was just sort of the way it was. And then during COVID, I work in a hospital and so does my husband. And I work in education. So I wasn't working with COVID patients, but I was working with all the clinicians who work with patients. And it was scary. My husband is an ICU nurse, so he would come home. We would both come home and just literally undress at the door and go shower. Like I didn't know that we were not okay, right? It was a very unsafe time, and I was doing my master's at the same time too, and so it was just very stressful. Full-time education, full-time job, and then thinking I'm gonna die. Like it was a terrible time. So I was self-soothing by like drinking every night. Like I'm just gonna have a cocktail, or coming home and there'd be snacks on the porch. Like people, that was like back in the day, like 7 o'clock, people would come outside and like bang pots and pans for healthcare workers, and I would just be like sitting on my couch crying. Like it was such an intense time, but I gained a lot of weight, and I think I got up. I didn't have a scale at the time, but when I bought the scale, like 3 weeks into like trying to dial it in again, I was at like 168 pounds. So I for sure was in the 170s. So I was self-soothing by just eating all the wrong things. And even though I was exercising, like it wasn't enough. So I ended up like going through this drastic thing where I just like really I didn't have any carbs for the longest time. And I know I showed you a picture, Magda, of me, and I said I was like skinny fat, right? Like I was on the dock and my legs were like little sticks. And but then it's like it just that wasn't sustainable either. And then I started going through perimenopause in my early 50s, and then that's when I started to notice I was just like getting a bigger stomach, and just like the weight was I didn't get very heavy again, but I just the weight was creeping up. So
That's
that's when I decided to get in touch with you.
interesting. Okay. So now you've accomplished a lot, of course, like your metabolism, you have so much more muscle, you're so much stronger.
I want to know when you came in, you were like, she wanted aggressive, like we put it intensity. How did you take her from there to
Mhm.
2,100 calories, super shreddy to where she is now?
Every single week is so different. Like every week you take it day by day, week by week. She was so good at communicating right off the bat. She was just like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so good. This is working for me, right?" And so we set her up, of course, with the meal plan and then slowly weaning off the meal plan and giving a little bit more food, different varieties of foods as the weeks go on, right? So that eventually she's good to go on her own, right? Flexibly diet, incorporate the different foods, and as a result, that's where she is now. However, of course, we did start off with some cardio. I don't really remember the exact amounts, but it was definitely on the stair climber, 20 minutes starting, and then it was like 25 minutes. It didn't really get, Sue, correct me if I'm wrong, it didn't get past like 30 minutes at
No, I
all.
think the longest I did was 25 minutes.
Yeah, and then so we held her there. She does have just this like skinny body, like just who she is, to be honest. So to be honest, like people like Sue, they don't gain fat per se, like all over their body. They're not going to hold that much fat. It's just genetic how she is, right? But the thing is, like she can eat a lot if she builds that muscle. Like you have a very good what's it called? Endomorphic, I think is the name, endomorphic body type. And as a result, I kind of just intuitively knew I'm like, okay, she just really, really needs to dial in her resistance training. And trust me, like she's going to look really toned and lean. And like I see your shoulder striations right now. Like you just like look very, very lean.
It's incredible. Like I just I want these to be boulders. Like I really want them
Yeah.
to be like really, really, yeah. Thank
Now
you.
you have to eat more.
I
Just
and that's just it. Like I'm still tracking my food too because I
yeah,
just like
absolutely.
there's days where I think, okay, like I'm just gonna like just see how I'm doing. Like if I don't track until like noon, then I'll just because my breakfast is the exact same, except I've added stuff to it now just so I can eat more. But I
Yeah.
love it. And I remember when I was leaving you, I was like, oh my God, I hope that the magic is in the maintenance. And it really is because now I can eat more and I can lift more, which is pretty exciting. It's
I
pretty
know.
exciting.
Everybody is so afraid of eating, and sometimes you just really have to like eat, like to lift more, do more reps, progressively overload. Like again, like I see Lexi killing it and I know she's eating a lot,
Oh,
right?
I'm
And
eating so much right now. I'm like, oh.
yeah, same. And I feel like once you kind of understand that, you're going to realize that you can eat so much f more food than what you thought. But again, sometimes it takes like a different perspective or somebody to tell you that you can eat more. Like sometimes I feel like we need permission to eat more food because we're scared to gain that fat. But what you have to know is that, when you get your body to a certain level, you're not going to put on extra fat. Like, so right now, like you can safely increase your calories by 50, by 100. And even though like maybe you'll gain a pound or two of glycogen, great, but then you're gonna see that the next time you actually intentionally want to lose fat, it's so much easier because you'll have to throw in maybe 10 minutes of cardio for 2 weeks. Like
Mhm.
personally, that's where I'm at right now. It's like I'm doing 10 minutes, like, and I'm chilling. You know what I mean? And I'm in a fat loss phase. It's like sometimes I forget, like, okay, yeah, we should be losing fat. I am, but like it becomes very effortless. And as a result of that, that's what makes it very sustainable, right? Because you, like a few years ago, would put on fat eating these 2,100 calories or
Right.
2,000 calories because you didn't have the metabolism to be able to sustain that, right? You have so much more muscle relative to your body now, and that's again what makes this so sustainable. So again, like yeah, like the diet's important, but it's like the resistance training that is that much more important because you have to stimulate the muscle appropriately to begin with. Right? You have to create that muscle damage in order for your muscles to even want to recover, right? Because if you're not pushing to failure, if you're not pushing past failure sometimes in some sets, then you're just going to keep eating and eating and you're going to be gaining fat. And that's likely
Right.
why you've always been skinny fat. Like, sure, you can be running around everywhere burning calories, but like the resistance training and what like Lexi's videos have taught you with the resistance training aspect of things is like really taking things to failure, challenging your muscle is really what's going to change you, right? And it's going to create that positive feedback loop of, training, stimulus, recovery, and then seeing the muscle growth and being motivated from that. So you train harder and then it just like repeats itself, right? So I
Yeah,
do
it's that
believe that.
positive reinforcement that it just,
Yeah.
you see the results and you can see what you can lift. And
Yeah.
I was telling Magda the other day that like I want to get the pull-ups. I'm just not there yet. I'm close. I'm very close. We have a
Yeah.
pull-up bar in our office, and my son is doing. He's in school right now, so we have a note that says, 3 pull-ups to get in the office. So I have a band, and so I'm just like really like my chin-ups are good. Like they're good. I can't dangle, but I can pull myself up. And but the pull-ups is just oh man, I'm
You'll
getting
get there.
so close.
It's gonna feel so good when you do your first one, and
I
then you're
can't
like, wait, I want to do another one. And
I
then
will, and then I'll record it and then I'll send it to Magda so she can see
Awesome. No, but yeah, honestly, like from the beginning, I did start her off with, I believe, 1650 calories and then slowly increasing and then creating, of course, that stimulus with cardio as well. I think it's important just to keep the digestion moving, keep like, because sometimes if you have too much food and you're only doing resistance training, it doesn't digest properly, I find with some clients as well. That's the feedback I get. So incorporating like 10, 15 minutes, 3 to 4 days a week sometimes, really does help. And then having, of course, that resistance training. And to be honest, like Sue was such an awesome client, always checked in on Saturday morning,
right. It
5
was
a.m.
like Christmas morning for me. Like I would get so excited, and quite often I would be like in the car going somewhere, and I'd see your video come in. I'm like, oh, pop my headset in. Like I just couldn't wait to hear like what you had to say.
Absolutely. And honestly, like Sue's been great. Like we weaned off cardio, we added back cardio. Again, it's all about like just communicating with your coach, I think is the most important part because we're not mind readers. I tell everybody this. Like I wish I was, I would solve everybody's issues and problems, but if you don't communicate with me, then it's not going to be good, right? And form videos were also important as well. So,
Oh, they were great. And
and
also the one about how to track your macros. Because
yeah,
that
yeah.
like I had been tracking my macros for some time, but I wasn't doing it right because
And
I was doing it, but then I'd come home for supper and my dear sweet husband would have dinner made. So I was like, okay, great. But I didn't know what was in there, right? Like, and even now, sometimes the kids will make something. I'm like, how much oil is in this? Like I don't use any oil. So I was like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, like so when I started with training with you, I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna make all my food. Even tonight, my husband makes this dish with like gravy and meat, and I was like, oh, what's for dinner? And he's like, oh, your meat's off to the side. Like he knows that I wouldn't want any of that crap in my food.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's like, oh, yours is here, and like he constantly comes home with like more vegetables, and like he just like everybody knows that that's just what I'm eating. Like it's
yeah.
good. It's really
having that
good.
support
And
is
the kids are eating a bit more vegetables now too. And I mean they're grown up kids. They can eat whatever they want, but like this mom is not getting rickets, right? Like I'm gonna make
Yeah,
sure I'm eating some like good wholesome food, which is pretty great.
absolutely.
And also you introduced me to potatoes. Like I was never a big potato eater.
Oh
And
my
like the potatoes, that's what really fills me up now. And I remember you did have to cut me off sweet potatoes for a bit because
God.
you're like, how many sweet potatoes are you having a week? And I was just having like,
Like we need a little bit more variety.
yeah, like maybe twice a week. I haven't had them in some time, but yeah, I discovered sweet potatoes in my air fryer, and it was just like I
Yeah.
was obsessed.
Making some French fries or something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. Or on the mandolin, and then just put them in
Yeah.
an oven. It's like chips. They're so
Tips,
good.
right? That's amazing.
Mhm.
No
I
good.
love them.
Happy. I'm so happy. But I want to also know, like, what was the thing that surprised you the most about your journey besides like maybe besides like the physique aspect of things as well?
So I was a little worried about our so we have a trailer in Prince Edward County, and
Yeah.
it's a very like all our friends are there now. Like my our dear friends that we met in our prenatal class 24 years ago, they bought a trailer there. Another friend that I've known for 30 years, he bought a trailer, and so then all our friends go there. So it's this big party culture. So I was like, oh man, am I gonna have FOMO? Everyone's partying. What is this gonna be like? And it's so not like it's not a big deal at all. Like I'm still me, and I'm still like having the best time, and I'm still up on like nothing has changed, like because I'm not drinking, and I'm and but I'm still eating whatever, like eating my stuff, and it hasn't hindered my life. Like if anything, it's just making my life better.
I love.
So yeah, no, it's been pretty awesome. But the physique aspect of it, like I'm surprised at how little I weigh. Like
Mhm.
I don't know that I've like probably in grade 8 maybe I weighed this little. I've
Really?
never weighed this little.
Well, you're strong now, so. But it's
No,
so,
It's
that's
very,
just it. Like I'm way stronger than I ever was.
yeah.
yeah,
And
it's
if you
To
amazing.
continue to eat the way that you do and train hard, scale's going to keep trending upwards because you have more muscle mass overall. And like that is okay. Getting to that point where you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't care if the scale goes up. If it means I'm building muscle, I'm here for it. That's the mindset that we try to teach all of our women is like focus on being more rather than less.
No, and that's it. Like take up space. Like I said, I want my shoulders to be boulders. My bum is getting much bigger, but to weigh like I'm 5'10", and my weight was actually scaring me a little bit because I was like, I don't I like and the BMI, like I know BMI is not a great indication, but I also like felt like I was like getting too light. And
Yeah.
so that's why I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start like coming back up a little bit because I didn't want to get too skinny.
Well,
And there's a few people have said like, "Oh, you look so skinny," and I was like, and then I'll flex for them, and they're like, "Whoa!" So I don't want to be the skinny girl. Like I want to make sure that I'm the strong girl. You
it's
know.
probably, I think that happened because maybe when you finished working with me, I feel like you were a little bit afraid, maybe going off on your own, and you kept the calories the same, but the intensity of your workouts went up. So as a result, like you were putting yourself in a deficit without even knowing and realizing. That may
hmm
be it. That's why it's like,
I think you're right. And I because I don't weigh myself all the time and to like to see the scale go that low, I did get a bit like I was a bit shocked by that. So
yeah.
and that's why when I went on vacation and I was like, oh, I wonder what I weigh because I did have, I had more snacks that I normally wouldn't have at home and I was down a pound. So I was like, oh crap, like I know I lost some muscle. And even though I was working out, there's a group of ladies at our trailer that are like in their 70s that work out every morning down at the water. And so I would come down and I'd had my weighted bands and I only had my 20-pound weights with me. So I wasn't lifting super heavy, but we were doing push-ups and we were doing squats and like we were working out like we were doing line dancing too and lots of bouncing around like
Yeah.
stuff I normally wouldn't do, but it was still great. But yeah, like getting back to the gym and doing my lean like when you're leaning to the side with the
The bicep.
bicep curls. I was at 22.5 and I was doing 3 sets of 10.
Oh,
And when I came back
good.
from vacation, I had a hard time getting 5 out and I was like, holy crap. So I'm
Well,
like, okay, like I'm gonna get this back, but it's just like and
that's
it was only I was only away for 10 days. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like you just work too hard to lose it, right? So
Don't
yeah.
freak out too much. It's not muscle mass that your body is losing. It's just your glycogen stores are being depleted because the body's like, oh, we're not really using this as much. Let's revert this energy elsewhere. It takes a lot of sedentary, like laying in a bed doing nothing to actually lose muscle. So don't stress out too much.
Well, that's good to hear. I just don't want to be that weakling either. So that's really reassuring. Thank you for
It'll
that.
come back. I'm curious to know, we're coming up on like 7.5-ish minutes until this cuts off. What gave you the confidence to be like, I'm ready to do this on my own? How long
Well,
in
I was
total did you
scared.
go
I
from
was so
Canada?
scared. I was so scared, but I just thought, you know what? Like I knew what I had to do and I have like Magnus little voice in my head and literally like I've taken my measurements. I know what my workouts are. I know what the splits are that I have to do. I'm safe in the gym. I'm so motivated. I get up and my happy place is there. So like I just felt like, well, I mean, if I could afford her, I would stay all the time. You would be in my back pocket right now. I wish. And maybe one day, I'll be able to hire you again. But I mean, really, like, if it was free, I'd still be there. But I couldn't manage it anymore. But I feel like I have the tools now. I know what I need to do. Like under Magda's guidance, you set me up. You set me up for success. And even you had sent me a little video like as our last check-in, and it was just so reassuring. Like, you're gonna increase by five grams of protein and 5 grams of fat, and increase your because you had said your make sure you go up on your protein first, then your carbs, and then your fat, because fat's 9 grams or 9 calories per gram. You just gave me everything I needed. So I just needed to put on my big girl pants and just keep going.
Yeah,
So
of course. And like I know your body and I know you can tolerate more food. Like you just can't be scared sometimes, right? As well. So
it did take me a bit, and then I was like slowly coming up. Like I would just do like 50 extra calories a week. So I'm like, oh, I
yeah.
just, but I'm also like, yeah, the more I eat, the more I can lift, and I'll get that pull up one of these days.
Coming.
It's coming. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Magda, what, from like a client adherence and consistency perspective, what sets Sue apart from some of the other ladies that aren't quite there yet for you to be like, ah, you're good. Like, go. I have no worries about you.
Honestly, she was like the perfect client, really. She
Aw.
did everything. Not one complaint. I really honestly don't even remember one complaint. I don't remember ever hearing, "Oh, I can't do this. Oh, sorry, my trailer doesn't have bands. I can't do workouts." Like I've never heard anything like that from her. There was never ever an excuse. Like even the first day, like when she told me that she went to the bar in the pub, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And then she was perfect, right? And I was just like, okay, this is gonna be good. Like so I can really, really make sure to take her through the entire body recomposition, fat loss process because she's going to be a really great client. And I do believe that comes down to even her check-ins. Her check-ins were so, so detailed. Sometimes, ladies, we get 2 lines. Not gonna cut it. I love Lexi's reel where she was like,
I saw that
"More
too.
Tell
information.
me
Give
everything.
me
Tell
something.
me,
I feel
tell
like
me
I'm sitting in the
more."
dark right now, getting so
Ugh.
dark up
So
here.
yeah, I think it's just honestly the level of motivation, just her internal drive that made her that amazing client, to be totally honest. And
Thank you.
it just made my job so much easier because then I can coach like how I'm like meant to coach. Like do this, do this, do this. Come back to me with some questions, and then we're gonna adjust and we're gonna adapt and see how you feel moving forward. You know
A
what I mean?
large chunk of our coaching is the behavioral and habitual and like support aspect of it. But when we have a woman come in and be like, I'm hitting all my stuff, that's where we can apply the science. And it's like, we know
Yeah.
exactly how to manipulate the science to get your body to do the things to get to where you want to be. You just need that consistency week after week after week after week to let the science bring you the results that you want.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So if somebody's like not there yet, maybe, my expectations of you are too high. You know what I mean? So we kind of have to like middle out, which may mean that your, 20-week journey may turn into 32 or 52 weeks. As long as you're okay with that and understand that you're gonna get there eventually at your own pace, like it's completely okay, right? So yeah, like honestly, Sue is perfect. So I could do whatever I wanted, to be honest, and she would listen. And I'm thankful for that. So,
Sue,
I
for
do
the
remember the one time you said, "Are you hungry?" And I was like, "I am really hungry." And you're like, "Here, you can have 5 more grams of carbs." I'm like, "That's it? That's all I can have is 5 more grams of carbs."
and then I was like, okay, let's
But
see.
then it's like, yeah, okay, no, the 5 grams is actually like, yeah, it's help. 5 grams is 5 grams and it's helping. So. Yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna starve. I
So
never starve.
the
But
ladies that are currently either on the call or they're watching the replay and they're thinking about the like, oh, I want to get off, like I want to go on my own and be successful and maintain my progress and continue to see progress. What sort of advice do you have for them?
just like access the tools. I mean, I still like watch everything I can online, and honestly my whole feed on Instagram is all fitness stuff. I'm just immersing myself in it. I still keep track. Like the app that you guys had was amazing. But I found another one that's not, I mean, it's not as great, but it tracks, it actually accumulates how much I've lifted. So on leg days I'm
Oh,
lifting 34,000 pounds. It's amazing.
a
You
lot of
lifted as
volume.
much as a mini helicopter, like a helicopter, a mini truck. So
Oh,
stuff like that I find really motivating. And I still write down what I eat too.
good.
And I just like and my water, like I usually just keep mason jars around that are like a liter, and I drink out of a metal straw. So I always know I'm getting at least like 3, sometimes 4 liters of water a day. Just
Oh,
use the tools that you guys give us, because I think it's helpful. It's nice to quantify what you're doing, and just like helps keep me organized.
amazing.
Yeah. All
Thank
right. Well, thank you to Sue and Magda for joining tonight and all the ladies that are still here with us. Sue, if people want to connect with you, I'm assuming you have Instagram and Magda
I
will be
do.
tagging
Yeah,
in
I
your
know I
posts.
don't put any of my fitness stuff on there because I'm too shy. But definitely reach out if there's anything I can help with. And all my friends, I'm just like, I want everyone to do it because it's so good. It's like putting on an oxygen mask, and I just think like it's the best thing we can do for ourselves, right? For perimenopause, for dementia risk, like just it's just such a good thing. So